African bullfrog daily routine, nature's tough amphibian. Deep in the heart of sub-Saharan Africa, where the savanna meets temporary pools of rainwater, lives one of nature's most remarkable survivors, the African bullfrog, Pyxicephalus adspersus. Also known as the pixie frog, this extraordinary amphibian has evolved to thrive in some of the continent's harshest environments, developing a daily routine that showcases millions of years of evolutionary adaptation. Dawn of the giant. As the African sun begins to paint the horizon with shades of amber and gold, the African bullfrog stirs from its nighttime shelter. These impressive creatures, which can grow up to 10 inches in length and weigh over 4 pounds, are among the largest frogs in the world. Males are significantly larger than females, with some specimens reaching truly massive proportions that dwarf most other amphibians. The bullfrog's morning routine begins with a careful assessment of its surroundings. Unlike many amphibians that remain perpetually moist, African bullfrogs have developed remarkable adaptations that allow them to venture into relatively dry environments. Their thick, leathery skin helps retain moisture, while specialized glands produce a waxy secretion that further reduces water loss. During the early morning hours, when humidity levels are at their highest, bullfrogs often engage in brief hunting expeditions. Their powerful hind legs, built like coiled springs, propel them across the landscape in search of prey. The morning hunt is typically opportunistic, focusing on slower-moving targets that haven't yet warmed up with the rising sun. The master predator's hunting strategy. The African bullfrog's daily routine revolves heavily around its role as an apex predator in its aquatic and semi-aquatic ecosystem. These formidable hunters possess one of the most powerful bites in the amphibian world, capable of crushing the shells of small turtles and the bones of rodents. Their mouths, equipped with sharp, backward-pointing teeth, ensure that once prey is captured, escape becomes nearly impossible. Throughout the active portions of their day, bullfrogs position themselves strategically near water sources or along well-traveled animal paths. Their hunting technique is a masterclass in patience and explosive action. They remain motionless for extended periods, resembling nothing more than a mossy rock or clump of mud. This camouflage is so effective that prey animals often venture dangerously close without detecting the hidden predator. When an unsuspecting victim comes within range, the bullfrog's response is lightning fast. In a movement that takes mere milliseconds, the frog launches itself forward, mouth agape, engulfing prey in a single devastating strike. Their diet includes insects, small mammals, birds, reptiles, and even other frogs. Remarkably, African bullfrogs have been observed catching and consuming prey nearly half their own size, demonstrating the incredible flexibility of their jaws and throat. Territorial behavior and social dynamics. The daily routine of African bullfrogs is deeply influenced by their territorial nature, particularly during the breeding season. Male bullfrogs establish and defend territories around prime breeding sites, engaging in impressive displays of dominance that can last throughout the day. These territorial displays involve deep, resonant calls that can be heard from over a mile away. The bullfrog's call is produced by inflating vocal sacs that can expand to enormous proportions, creating a sound that resembles a deep, rumbling bellow. Males often engage in calling contests that can continue for hours, each trying to outdo the others in volume and frequency. Physical confrontations between males are spectacular affairs that demonstrate the true power of these amphibians. When vocal intimidation fails, males will engage in wrestling matches, using their powerful forearms to grapple with opponents. These battles can be intense, with the victor gaining exclusive access to prime breeding territories and the females they attract. Midday survival strategies. As the African sun reaches its zenith and temperatures soar, the bullfrog's daily routine shifts dramatically toward survival and conservation. The harsh midday heat poses a significant challenge for any amphibian, but African bullfrogs have developed sophisticated behavioral adaptations to cope with these extreme conditions. During the hottest parts of the day, bullfrogs seek shelter in burrows, under vegetation, or in whatever shade they can find. They enter a state of reduced activity known as estivation, dramatically slowing their metabolism to conserve energy and water. Their breathing becomes shallow and infrequent, and they may remain completely motionless for hours at a time. This midday dormancy is not merely a passive response to heat but an active survival strategy. By reducing their activity levels during peak temperatures, bullfrogs minimize water loss through respiration and avoid the energy costs associated with thermoregulation. Their ability to tolerate significant dehydration sets them apart from most other amphibians, allowing them to survive in environments that would be lethal to their relatives. Afternoon awakening and feeding frenzy. As temperatures begin to moderate in the late afternoon, African bullfrogs gradually emerge from their heat-induced torpor. This period often marks the beginning of their most active hunting phase, as both predator and prey species become more active in the cooler conditions. The afternoon feeding session is crucial for bullfrogs, particularly during the dry season when food sources become scarce. Their opportunistic feeding behavior reaches peak efficiency during this time, as they capitalize on increased prey activity. Small mammals venturing to water sources, insects emerging from daytime hiding spots, and other amphibians beginning their evening activities all become potential meals. African bullfrogs demonstrate remarkable prey detection abilities during these afternoon hunts. Their large, prominent eyes provide excellent vision for spotting movement, while specialized organs allow them to detect vibrations through the ground and water. This combination of sensory capabilities makes them extraordinarily effective predators during their active periods. Evening rituals and breeding behavior. As dusk approaches, the African bullfrog's daily routine takes on different characteristics depending on the season. During the dry season, evening activities focus primarily on continued hunting and territory maintenance. However, during the brief but intense rainy season, evenings become dominated by breeding behaviors that define the species' reproductive strategy. The onset of seasonal rains triggers dramatic changes in bullfrog behavior. Males converge on temporary pools and begin intense calling sessions that can continue throughout the night. The urgency of these breeding aggregations reflects the ephemeral nature of their aquatic breeding habitats, pools that exist for only weeks or months before disappearing in the dry season. Female bullfrogs, laden with thousands of eggs, make their way to these breeding sites guided by male calls and environmental cues. The evening courtship rituals are complex affairs involving intricate positioning, tactile stimulation, and carefully timed spawning events. Successful pairs may produce egg masses containing up to 4,000 eggs, which must develop rapidly in the temporary pools. Nocturnal activities and rest. The African bullfrog's relationship with nighttime varies significantly based on temperature, humidity, and seasonal conditions. During cooler months or in areas with moderate temperatures, bullfrogs may remain active well into the night, taking advantage of increased humidity levels and continued prey availability. However, during extreme weather conditions, nighttime often provides little relief from the challenges of survival. In very dry conditions, bullfrogs may remain in their shelters throughout the night, continuing their water conservation strategies until conditions improve. When active at night, bullfrogs become highly efficient hunters. Their excellent night vision and acute hearing allow them to detect prey that might be invisible during daylight hours. The cover of darkness also provides protection from their own predators, including large birds, snakes, and mammals that might pose threats during daylight. Seasonal adaptations and long-term survival. The daily routine of African bullfrogs is deeply intertwined with seasonal patterns that can dramatically alter their behavior for months at a time. During extended dry periods, these remarkable amphibians can enter prolonged estivation, essentially hibernating underground for up to 7 months. This extraordinary survival ability involves creating underground chambers lined with shed skin and mucus secretions that form a protective cocoon. Within the shelter, bullfrogs can survive on stored body fat and water, reducing their metabolic rate to a fraction of normal levels. This adaptation allows them to inhabit regions where most amphibians could never survive. The African bullfrog's daily routine represents one of nature's most successful adaptations to extreme environments. Through behavioral flexibility, physiological adaptations, and remarkable survival instincts, these tough amphibians have carved out a unique niche in some of Africa's most challenging habitats. Their daily cycle of hunting, territorial defense, temperature regulation, and seasonal adaptation demonstrates the incredible resilience of life in the face of environmental extremes. From dawn's first light to the depths of drought season estivation, the African bullfrog's routine reflects millions of years of evolutionary refinement. These impressive amphibians serve as a testament to nature's ability to adapt and thrive, even in conditions that seem impossible for most forms of life. Their daily existence continues the ancient rhythm of survival that has allowed them to persist while many other species have fallen to the challenges of a changing world. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos.